Check, 1, 2, 3. La 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 la.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Yeah. It's registering.
Welcome. Cheers.
I never know what people's superstitions are, so.
Just look in the eyes.
Uh-huh.
You know, that was all the
Oh
thing
yeah, you have to
before
look.
back in the days. Like, so people will look in the eyes when they cheers, because some people will put like a poison in the drink.
Yeah.
So you have to look in the eyes, and then
You have to mix drinks when you
have
cheers.
to mix and actually look in the eyes. So
Yes.
you know it's honest cheers.
Yeah.
Un vino italiano di Sicilia. Oh, pardon. I learned Italian at school.
Yeah.
I didn't learn English.
No.
And it sticks to me. And actually, everywhere I've been traveling, there's always an Italian connection everywhere. Everywhere I went, and it really I had always a plus. And it's not that I love Italians or Italians love me back. It's just when I speak Italian with them, they don't block me. They let me speak. I can feel like they allow me to speak it.
Yeah. I think it depends on what city you're in. If you're in Florence, they're going to be like, come on, I don't have time. Like, get your pizza and please go.
Firenze, I speak only if somebody talks to me. You know, it's, I cannot, come si dice, dare da lei, dare da lei se volesti and all this, come on.
Damn. Yeah.
Parli italiano anche.
Sì, anche. Oh.
I know. Come on, guys.
No, it's okay. But you're aware that my English is going to sound Franglish very, very much.
I understand
So
everything that you're saying.
correct me.
See?
That's the fun of it.
When people have a will to understand, they will.
But I was saying that if you must correct me, do it, because that's where the fun comes from.
I am not going to sound like a bitch trying to correct my boyfriend on the podcast. Like, darling, you pronounce it weird, bad.
Like you don't try to
like,
speak.
I'm from Poland.
I'll do it. How about I'll do it? I'll be like, don't you mean to say this?
Look, with a friend of mine, Sasha.
Come again?
You don't know Sasha?
Come again?
You don't know Sasha? He's also from here. He has a shop called Freebird. And we are in Milan convention, and I'm drunk, or probably I was high or something. and I'm talking something very serious. Nobody understands. And he's next to me translating in English the way I try to speak English to people to understand. And at the end, it really looked like he is
The one to
Han Solo and I am
And
Chewbacca. You know?
That's what I always say with Luana, because she'll speak to me in Italian and I'll respond in English, and I'll be like, we're like Chewbacca and Han Solo.
Hey, but the thing is, the worst part is, it's when it's happening, we're not joking, it's happening for real. That's give another, how do you say, feeling of the definition of the fucking moment, you know? But it's cool. I love Italy, actually, really big time.
I was just saying that we are more into Italian wine than French.
And not so long ago, I discovered a documentary, and it's actually the first super accurate documentary about the Etruscan.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Amazing.
Yeah,
When I tattoo on Sunday at the shop here at Kingyo, honest, I will not put music. I have this Curiosity Stream channel on my phone. I plug it to the Marshall and I play this. It's just to hear, you know, we don't see the pictures on the phone.
Sure, yeah, of course.
But, you know, who kills a Neanderthal? Who was an Etruscan? You know?
Yeah.
The favorite place in the galaxy of Stephen Hawking's.
We've been having so much music every day at the shop, and like from morning till late evening, that it's in one point when we come home, we don't even want to listen to music.
No,
even though you love music.
What we did
so
yesterday? Yesterday, the whole day, we had a Silver Tongue podcast.
We were listening to the podcast.
That's a good plug.
And
Say that again. I didn't hear that. What?
No. But actually, was one thing. We started with Johannes Van.
Yeah.
And then we went for Mike Rubendal and Henning.
Said,
and then Said. But there was that guy, I don't know, because actually I get into the podcast
drawing.
and I didn't
even...
I was drawing, I was busy, but the thing is, I couldn't get who's that guy who left California, who not into California. You have a podcast with American dude.
And he said that the most important
maybe
thing
Will
to
Jackman.
be
You know,
kind,
that he works in those
people have to be
bikers
kind and
tattoo
nice
shop where they were really wild. he really get my attention.
Yeah.
Yes, big time.
And he's such a nice guy too.
And he could say, and he's such a nice guy, but I don't know the guy because I'm just listening to the voice. And I didn't see any picture or anything like that. But meanwhile, I know that nice guy, I would not piss him off.
No.
And I don't know how he looked like, but I would not dare piss him off.
Yeah, I think
because when he can talk so nice, it's a commitment already, you know?
I think
but I think he has the record on the podcast for using fuck the most. So it was like every other word was fuck this.
I don't think we're gonna beat the record.
But you know what they say? There's a quote that says that actually the word fuck really is the best word for your vocal chakra.
Oh,
yes. It's actually as much you say it, as much you liberate.
What was the name of the
Osho Babwan?
Have
Osho
you
the
seen
Babwan?
some videos of Osho that he's saying like
Osho, you have to tell him who's Osho. Osho is a sannyasin. Is that guy who there was a big scandal somewhere in the States with all that huge sect things and stuff. And then they move out to India, to Pune.
Oh yeah, this is the Wild Wild Country.
Yes,
they did the documentary.
Yes.
Yeah.
I spent many years in India and I went to Pune. And I hang out with those people.
Really?
Yeah, big time.
He spent long time. Yes.
Big time. No.
So what's your idea of this?
Look, my idea is as though I didn't get any idea about it. I find them too friendly. You know, you're on the dance floor and I'm tripping my head off, dancing into the music, try to reach that fucking sunlight with the horses and shit. And there's that cute girl comes around and with a big naive smile, and I don't know, I want to talk, but I can't talk. But they don't want to talk. They want to do something. They want a little too direct with things.
Okay.
With contact and stuff that I back off about it. They like it. Too many people actually I really get truly lost and sidetracked.
Sure.
Of meaning of handle yourself, be a human being. But I also spend a lot of time. I've been looking also a lot of time like Scandinavia. You know, example. It was at the first time. It was more like I want to go to this expensive continent where they actually wear a hammer of Thor around their neck and not a cross, and they are very smart and this and that. And I wanted to feel that because I'm born Muslim. But from moderated family, my dad was in the army. Yeah. Did a couple of wars, what you call Vietnam, so Indochina.
Yeah, my dad was in Vietnam.
That Cold War, independence of Algeria for the side of France. So, just to run a little bit my background, easygoing, that I usually don't want to talk about, but I'm born in 1971. My dad already bought a piece of land in the countryside in France. Probably one of the first Arabic guy. So we had to adapt in the country in a good way. My dad was quite a good guy in the army things. Yeah. So I knew it from my young age that I'm not different than the others, but there is a difference is what my parents...
There's no difference, but people look for differences.
But they did send me at my young age to a private Catholic school. And I speak Arabic and practice the religion. I did the Ramadan till age 9. Then age 10, my hormones are kicking. I'm like, I'm getting pissed. Very, very, I'm having questions that no one can answer. I just have to go through it. So I'm like, one side, the cross, one side, the crescent moon and the star. And they said, and I knew anyway, my parents would doom me. They will marry me to who they want to marry, like all arranged stuff. I run away. Yeah. I run away. And I was, okay, not a bad boy, but never been a bad boy because I was not like the big tough guy, this and that.
No,
but I always have those big bad guy around me to protect me in a way, you know?
Sure. But you had your own thoughts. You had your own
My first tattoo
direction.
was, my pocket was full of cash and I'm walking around my little boring city with my brother, staying close to me because I was the one with the cash, even if it's my brother. I love my brother. We met those two guys with a suitcase. One is a gypsy biker and the other one is a Frenchy rock and roll, try to look like Elvis or Elvis Costello or something like that. My true first introduction with tattooing, it was with those guys. And was just fucking underground crazy. I don't know I can give it a name now, but back in the time it's just happening, you know?
Sure.
And I get tattooed by those guys. I get a little boy. At the time I was like a bit like we're getting lost between who wants to be a punk, who wants to be mods, who wants to be skinhead, who wants to be a metalhead or something like that. But we talk about 1984, somewhere there. No, 85. And
you have a good memory for
for the dates.
ask him anytime. What did
but
you
I was
do?
drawing already. I always drew. I always drew. And at a younger age, I was going to the library. I didn't have the money to actually. I didn't have like the luxury of pleasant hobby or something like that. So I did go a lot to library, and because I was thinking, I had that fear. They're gonna marry me. So okay, fuck it. I'm gonna study myself as much as I can about art history and stuff like that.
Sure.
So I can do the free concours. How do you say?
Course or
Not course, but example, you don't have to go to the art school.
Okay.
But they do an exam or something, like a freelance things. And if you pass it, you might have a chance to go to the art school.
Okay.
So I did it, but with a lot of hope and naive. Of course, it would never work, but I did spend good time there. I was like a sponge, so I tried to learn things, get interested about things, magical things, mystical things. So let's start with the Greek and then the Roman, and then of course I'm like, fuck, those one guys stole the gods from those guys and this and that. But I never saw the politics of it or whatever it is about it. But still, I have to get myself busy. My mind is working hard.
So at a young age, you were
I was drawing a lot
about these ideas.
And I was drawing a lot. I was already doing the course of the City Hall, pretty much free course of painting and drawing. So I started with the kid one. I was age 9, and they actually asked me to go to the evening time. And evening time, we have to sit in that room, and then somebody is gonna just move around, and then just to try to draw the motion.
Like a gesture type thing? Yeah.
Like, it's not like to draw sharp, but just to see what you can catch on the moment, the movement, and stuff like that. So when I got tattooed, I knew my drawing skills were like higher than those guys. And I didn't know nothing. But at that time, I mean, glove didn't exist yet. People don't work with gloves. It's, you know, I see them burning the needle
to sterilize them.
Alcohol, you know, into some kind of spoon. It looked like a bit, I don't know,
sketchy,
weird, you know, sketchy, let's say. And I saw that. I'm like, first of all, I drew my own design. So it was a little mods boy taking a shit in the toilet, holding a little flag with FTW.
You still have it on?
Yeah, I did get it lasered because Ori put a dragon on my back and he wanted me to laser it. I was a bit sad. And on my brother, I drew a caricature of my brother with his cap, and he had that feather hanging in his ears.
But you were hooked then, I guess.
Yeah, but the thing is, once I get that tattoo, I felt like, okay, we're in that house, and a lot of people, I just left everybody there and said, everyone can stay there, no problem. I took my bro and went to the next big city, Toulouse. Yeah. But my brother, he hid it to me that actually he wanted to go there because he had a date with a girl and he was cheating on his friend. So he dropped me to a tattoo shop. That was with a Dutch guy called Theo Rutger. Okay. And that was my really first introduction to a tattoo shop. Yeah. And this guy at that time was quite mystical, you know? And he asked me to draw a pair of boxing gloves. So I drew them even holding on the stick with a little sock on the bottom, you know, trying to do my best. And yeah, he said, okay, you can come back tomorrow and draw again. And then the next day, draw again. And then the next day, draw again. And then the next day, clean the shop. But he never teach me nothing. He never dare even say anything. At that time, I think it's like people will squeeze you as hard as they can to make sure they're doing the right thing. Because it was not about making money on you. It was about, wow, you're going to eat in their plate, you know? It's get a piece of the cake or something. It was not like that. But meanwhile, that was the paradox of the whole this. Tintin is in the city of Toulouse and is young, kicking, breaking tooth everywhere. Mad as fuck, but unbelievable tattoos, like not normal. And I remember once I'm with that girl and I go at around 4, 5 o'clock at night, just with the lighter to look at the window of his shop, of the picture on display on the window, just to show to that girl, you see, this is what I'm talking about, tattoo, you know, it was really precious. Only thing I miscalculated, her Tintin was just behind the window.
Excuse me, sir.
And he opened his door, pull out that metal curtain from the inside, and tell me what the fuck you doing here? Get the fuck out of my place. And I get scared. I really get scared. And I walked away, but he says, you know, if you get balls, you want to look at my tattoo, you should do it in the daylight. Okay? Still, I get a little positive.
Yeah.
Sparkle somewhere. Took maybe 6 years, and 6 years later that day, 6 or 7 years even, I'm in Neuss convention, and from that I just have fucking great time with him, you know. Mm-hmm. We did a few conventions together, long ago. I think probably nobody remember even. So it's a while ago.
How long was that again?
I would say 1993, 1994. Mm-hmm. I'm in the middle of the booth. I have Tintin on my right, Bernie Luther on my left. Mm-hmm. But it was still tough time, because that time there was no pre-made needles. Mm-hmm. So it's not just you see somebody making nice tattoo. It's how does he make his needles?
Sure. What
needle do you use? What everything. To the rubber band, we didn't have grommet or tits for the amateur bar. No, you have to know how to fold your pepper nicely, squeeze it in, and stuff like that. And for me, I was pretty much a lot on my own, because everybody had shops, so I would just travel around and, you know, just moving on, just you don't, how do you say, like, get stuck somewhere. Or,
sure. But I think that builds a lot of character, because if you don't have somebody constantly showing you something, then you don't use that part of your brain to be like, oh, how can I fix this problem? How can I resolve this issue here?
Yeah, and problem is solution only, yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, and then it's you learn, or it's a pattern. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
depends.
But when you do learn, it's something that it's ingrained in you at that point. And I never had like a real formal type of training, so it was a lot of like trial and error. But I look back at it, and I look at it as a strength, where it was like I may have learned things a bit slower than some other people, but what I've learned is truly kind of in me.
But I don't know you much, but the little I've seen from you and the little I understood from you, it's I appreciate that what you paint with oil, it's another domain.
Yeah.
You take it as a domain, and tattooing is tattooing. Mm-hmm. You want your tattoo to last as long as possible.
Yeah, correct.
For what I understood for my side is to don't get sidetracked from things, keep things simple, simplify it in the way that I've seen my own tattoos during almost 32 years.
Yeah.
I really have time to
see how they're aging.
And now it's much easier for me to make the right choice, even if it's not the choice I wanted to see, but that's the choice. If it's right.
Yeah.
You know, simplify. Make sure you have enough space between your line, your shading, your coloring, the open skin. How do you say, like, how much % of black and gray you put in the contrast? Because even if it's a 2D, if you do it right, you just break through and make it become a 4D, almost a Pepper 4D thing.
Yeah.
You know, that you fold and unfold. That's how I see Japanese tattoo.
Yeah.
I recommend always to care more about the background than the main subject. Subject doesn't matter. We can have period where you can go making large snakes, large dragons, and then maybe you're going to have a period where you're going to try to shrink them more.
Have the background. Enough room for the breathing room for the...
For me, it's not like doing an arm or a back. It's the whole body. It's the bodysuit. You wear it. You know, I see sometimes people making beautiful work, but the chest gets too close. That it's better to close it all, because then it's, even if the person wear the tattoo has a perfect body and muscle and sweat, it's just going to look all cranked and stuff. You wear a suit, you know, when you wear your sweatshirt, you relax. When you wear a real suit, you're already more like a dandy. You act like a gentleman. You know, you get that attitude. It's power. You know, when you take out, there's nothing else after that tattoo that you're going to take out. That is you. Anyway, so there's space that has to be seen. The skin has to appear as well. You know, I figured out that many people put their back piece way too high. They're making a hang back, you know. Suck it up in an armpit. Let it fart outside.
I don't like seeing the skin there. I like it.
It has to be full. It's a tiny bit open is okay. You know? That's fine. You know, because on the back, if it's totally full, I've been doing it. Look like a water buffalo bottle, you know. You know, it depends on what dark is your background, you know. But I do look at the background at first with every piece that I overlook of my own work, my girlfriend's work, on Instagram, anyone. When I look at the motif, I look at the position, if it makes sense. Even if the picture, the arm is straight, I can imagine when the arm moves. You know, I think it's nice when we have that, everything is interesting at 360 degrees, every angle. You don't have to position yourself. It's not like, I don't want to take a picture when I look at a tattoo, you know. I want to just see it. Whatever comes, I have to have a grip. And that grip, it's not the motif, it's the background.
Right.
I hope, I'm trying to learn as much as I can. But it's not easy to actually keep it firm with the customer, to tell them, no, you cannot have maple leaves here and cherry blossom there. Remember, we had a consultation and I told you choose the cherry blossom. Yeah, but I found out that it's nice and the maple leaves, it's something. Yeah, but it's too late. You know, it's somebody wants a back piece for me, but he doesn't want to have the butt. I don't do it. I have to finish a couple of guys like that. And really, it's a must do, but I rather don't do it at all.
Totally, yeah, because it looks strange, and anybody that knows, it looks very strange.
Human baboon.
You
know, it's red and
What's
blue.
True? Let it out. Let it out.
It's as simple as that. Yes, we do love tattoo. I say with me and Barbara.
Yeah, how did you guys actually even meet? Did you want?
We met. We actually
get in there, Barbara.
Okay, let's put it that way. She's
a different vision of
she's the younger sister. She's the younger sister of the wife of the owner of the shop where I used to work. And age 13 or 14, she used to come for summer holiday, but we're not allowed. I was especially not allowed to speak to the beautiful young sister of the wife of the boss.
But I was not speaking English either.
But she always gave me those beautiful, beautiful eyes, look.
And sometimes Amar would call me like, "Hey, do you want to check what I'm doing now?"
Actually, for a while, I thought she had pity of me, though.
Look what I'm doing now.
I thought she had pity of me, but
no, never. That's
you know,
that's pure.
And
it was pure.
And then many years later, here we are again, and we actually re-hook up at the opening of the shop of Blue Blood, Marco Serio.
You met. That's where you met up again.
No, we met a long time before, but that was when we met after.
We catch up again.
Yeah, and actually, since that party, we stay together all the time.
We love to be together. We love to spend time together. We draw a lot together. We help each other the best we can. I put a lot of confidence into you.
A lot.
Because just starting a sleeve, as you know, I mean, you're doing a lot of sleeve too. You know, that's not going to be done in 2-3 days.
No, but I've been starting to do Japanese style since 2 years now. So it's very short, very, very short time. And you do need somebody that's going to guide you. It is a long process. I'm just very at the beginning of the way, so...
No, but I've been following your work. I think when I met both of you guys, I've been following both of you around the same amount of time, and it's incredible to see the dynamic and the work that you guys are both producing. And the one thing that comes to mind is the Phoenix, that collaboration that you guys are working on. And
actually, that's a funny story,
It's
because
amazing.
Stefan, our customer, it's his first tattoo actually, and he didn't knew what to do, and so he asked us, "Is it okay if I get tattooed by both of you?"
mm-hmm.
And we say yes, and we're almost done. Actually, we're gonna have the final session at the Mundial.
The Mundial.
Oh, cool.
We'll finish it there.
Yeah.
And yeah,
So it's going to be funny because she's going to start the first 2 hours at least, or probably 3. So I'm going to be working on another project meanwhile. And then once she's done, I stop. Then I'm going to keep up and finish the rest. We hope actually to have more collaboration together, but on a larger scale.
Mm-hmm. It'd be nice to see you back.
Yeah, but that asks a lot for me to go out of my own comfort zone, because I would love within a year that our background match perfectly.
well, if I can say, because what we tried to do with Stefan Arm, it was we decide from the start, we have this envision that it is not gonna be about the performance, so it is not gonna be that kind of collaboration piece that you're gonna see exactly what I've done and what Amar did.
Yeah.
So we agree from the start that what is our goal? It's to make a beautiful tattoo. And it's not to show off our skills or to show off any differences between our work in any kind of way. We try to make it one piece that people will never actually be able to see who did what. Mm-hmm. And I think so far we succeed.
Yeah, I can definitely see it, because when I look at it, I don't.
No one can tell which line and which line.
Because we divide everything in the way that we did everything together, really.
Mm-hmm. But there is one thing: is for past 5 years, I stopped lining with pre-made needles, and I went back to homemade needles. Mm-hmm. So I'm paying someone. I got my man.
You got your man.
Charge me per hours. He loves to do
man.
it. He doesn't want to be a tattoo artist. He just loves to do it. He's super happy. Make them the way I want. So the best I can do is order my needles from Japan.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, I do have also all my gear as a backup in case if he's sick, in case something whatsoever happened. Mm-hmm. So I had to start to make needles again. It felt good,
Yeah. I don't miss it, like having to make the needles, but there is one of those things where you just like, you know everything that's happening from start to finish. When you open up that package after it's been sterilized, you've been there. So it's like, you know what's going to happen in the skin.
It's also, how do you say, with tattooing, right? So we know how it feels when you line. Mm-hmm. I had sometimes periods where I would take easy lines on the stencil and gently get familiar to that aura or that person I'm working on, and then I go for it. Then I snap and I'm just tattooing.
Yeah.
When sometimes I had to use backup needles, I felt like the needles are cutting hard on the skin. Like I felt sorry for my customer, and I just didn't like it at all. Mm-hmm. It's crazy because it's like my 3 are average 5, my 7 are average 9, and so on and so on and so on. But it's the constancy of the line. Take your time to make them, craft them nicely. I'm happy with my lining so far. If I can say something a bit about myself about it, but when I look at my lining a year later, I love them better than when I make them. Mm-hmm. And that's convinced me that
very constant, very settled, and very rich.
For me, it was always all about, I've been living under the radar most of my life, because I always say like, okay, don't go to that light unless you're ready for it. Mm-hmm. And honestly, for me, tattooing, it's a craft. It's not a business. It is a craft. Mm-hmm. And there are things has to be done by yourself, or you have to teach the right people to do it. And for me, quite very, very important to ensure my confidence of the constancy.
Yeah.
So I know all the time, doesn't matter how I feel, doesn't matter if I'm happy or not, the line's going to be
perfect.
As perfect as possible. Of course, they don't have to be perfect, but They are strong. They are clean. And they also, I love to see the tattoos 10 years later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Most of my sleeves, example, I really have no problem to don't show any enthusiasm or any excitement. I believe that many people pull out so much fucking energy, endorphin, chemical things because they get so happy, overwhelmed at just session number 1. And then I see them the before last session or 2 session, the last 3 session, they're like in pain, they're tired, they don't even can look at themselves tattooing. They can't even look at a tattoo. What about you put everything on hold, do things, respect the step, gently. When it's finished, nothing. 6 months later, give that true, happy, super hubba hubba, smile, joy, you know. But meanwhile, I'm not that I'm struggling, but I try to work hard on keeping the rhythm. So
keeping up with the work,
keeping up with the work, keeping up also having new work coming, and I quite involve myself a lot into every customers, every piece, and everything. So it is important for me. I don't get sick of my customer or something like that. I'm happy to see them. I'm happy that they want to keep up.
We have a nice customer.
You know,
really nice customer.
You know, some are great, some are difficult, but they always change. They always change. We give them something they always wish to have, and they get it even in a better, how do you say, like, it's not like we're selling a deal or something. They feel like they're having the real thing. Yeah. And it is. And that's changed their life. I see them coming back and their life change. They're prouder. They're nice. And they come back and they hope that actually I'm still the same guy that 2 or 3 years ago or 5 years ago. And I see it right away and I right away tell them it's okay. Price didn't change.
So I have a question about like consistency over the long term. When you're working on a bodysuit, it doesn't happen overnight. And sometimes it can take, you know, if somebody's very consistent, 2 years or 7. Yeah. As you're developing as an artist, you're developing your style. Like how do you keep on top of developing something at the same time keeping it cohesive with the past years of tattooing, especially if somebody has like 2 sleeves and then they decide getting a back later.
I just do it. Like, as Barbara says, I just do it. But example, if I make a mistake while tattooing or something, or an inconvenience, I have no shame to say it on the spot. Also, I will tell to my customer or future customer how I wanted things to be, or I would like things to go. If you want me to be 100% for you, once I do. You know, it's like making an oath with them. Yeah. Something that I'm still puzzled a bit. Example, it comes with what we're saying, is that I do have a lot of people that give me the whole body. Yeah. The whole body. They don't want any Winewamori, nothing, no open front, closed. They goes from age 23 and some goes to age 42 or something. And they're really true commitment. They're not joking. That's super nice. That actually I did few big work on people that never have a tattoo before. Not so long ago, I booked a whole bodysuit. It's a young kid, if I can say kid, 21, 22. Yeah. He's from Colorado, growing up in Brussels. Okay. So we like speaking French and English, but it's definitely American. And he came here for the consultation, took the train all the way from Brussels, and was a problem with the train, so he came a bit late. He was very sorry. I said, relax, we're cool. I was not tattooing because I took the day for that consultation for that man, because I think it's quite important when someone I wanted to see or know if it's actually real. But Barbara was tattooing, and then he asked me gently, do you mind? Can I
with somebody tattooing?
Can I
never saw nobody.
Can I come and have a look at what she's doing? To see, I never saw it before. Wow. And he never saw it before. That was the first time he saw my girlfriend tattooing. That was the first time he saw a machine for real tattooing on the skin, on the customer.
It was
leaning.
a beautiful light in the shop, and my customer, she almost fell asleep. She was so relaxed.
But meanwhile,
a beautiful aura in the shop. Wow.
Meanwhile, we probably booked 16 or 17 or 18 sessions for the year.
Wow, dedication there, yeah,
big time.
It is.
And I do have like a wave of people like that, and they young, middle-aged, a bit older. Mm-hmm. They never have a tattoo before, but they, I don't know, they're ready.
Yeah,
just simply ready, and they probably run my background, and they know that I will do.
Yeah,
if I agree, of course, if you both agree, because I hate it. I really, really, really hate it. Starting those big work and put all that energy, all yourself into it, into the talking and everything, and then you start, everything goes okay, and then suddenly for some reason they stop, and I know it was not coming from me.
No,
I didn't do nothing wrong.
There's a life
and
also.
It is weird. I've seen people also coming, trying to flirt somehow with the tattoo world, getting tattoo, and want to have a piece of that world, and then they just disappear because actually. Yeah.
They didn't have balls enough to handle it.
Not balls and morons, something like that.
Sorry.
Problem is...
it's a commitment, big work, large scale.
But I'm such a good guy that 10 years later they come back. I'm like, of course we're going to finish your tattoo. Of course it's going to be fine. I did it to have a good day for myself. Going through.